Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the Netflix series Meteor Garden.
Yes, in this Chinese remake of a Taiwanese series based off an original manga, Sancai is admitted to the most prestigious school in the country where she encounters F4, an exclusive group comprised of the 4 wealthiest boys in the school and the coolest. Now, eventually,
supposedly,
she and the leader, Dao Ming Si, first start off as bitter enemies. But as
face.
Rascal always tells me, they end up together and they eventually fall in love.
Yep. Before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Yes. We found this just searching through Netflix, actually last year. And I said, let's give it a try.
Right.
And we were really surprised that we liked it. One of the things, if you decide to watch this series on Netflix, is that the episodes are long. Each one is like almost like a mini movie, right? Like 45 to 50 some minutes, or some of them an hour.
Right.
So there are 52 episodes. So you get to watch 52 mini movies.
Yeah.
But we have to tell you, it was well done. The way it starts off, it draws you in. The first 2 episodes, you really get interested in knowing how this is going to turn out. And I think what's really interesting about this particular series is that versus the Taiwanese version, it starts off more lighthearted, more laid back, more relatable, more calm.
Right.
Because when we started watching the Taiwanese version, Boys Over Flowers, and the first thing that comes up is a guy who's standing on the top of a building being told to kill himself, we just literally turned it off.
Yeah, it was like really rough. We don't know if this is how the original manga started out or this was them making it more severe than it was for drama or what. And they were just allowed to do this. But they don't do anything that severe in the Meteor. No. The most they do is they hassle somebody or make them unpopular, or like a blacklist or something, but
right.
none of them ever go to that extent of bullying.
And in this version versus the Taiwanese version, they're in high school. These students are in college.
Right.
So, when we said prestigious school, we should have said university. We forgot.
Yeah.
And university.
Right. And like I said, we've never read the manga, but we might have to check it out now. Seeing this, was this more accurate to the story, or was the other one was? Because we actually found out when looking up the history of the show and where it came from that this story originally was called Boys Over Flowers, and they adapted it many times all over Asia, everywhere but Japan.
Yes.
Ironically, there is no anime for it yet, but it's been adapted into a bunch of live-action TV dramas, and there's in Taiwan, in China, Vietnamese, everywhere.
And we're hoping there will be an anime version, and eventually a Netflix version that is animated. That's
right.
Animate.
Yes.
That's what we're hoping for, because if they base it on the more lighthearted, more relatable version, I think it could turn out very well.
Right.
The darker version, I'm not too excited about seeing it because, again, we tried watching it, and I said we cut it off, but we didn't cut it off immediately. We actually watched about 25 to 30 minutes. The mood never changed, and we just couldn't get into it. Who knows? Maybe at some point we'll go back and revisit it. If you have seen Boys Over Flowers on Netflix, let us know what you think in the comments below. Does it change? Does the mood get lighter? Is it such a good story that we really should take the time and invest and watch it? Let us know what you think.
Right.
But the Meteor Garden, I absolutely loved it. It is fantastic. And this is the first time we actually watched a Chinese adaptation of a Japanese manga, and they did a fantastic job.
Right. The only one we had heard of for making these types of live action shows, they did a live action Oran, both a movie and a TV drama, where they even covered some parts that weren't in the anime. So seeing this, but I know in the source material, it still felt like it was complete from start to finish. We don't know if they covered every little thing or they decided to leave some things out because it's Netflix.
I'm guessing with 52 episodes, they probably did. And they probably added some extra things too.
Right, maybe some filler, or instead of anime original, maybe Netflix original sequences or episodes or something to recap and things. Because there are times, it is lighthearted majority of the time, but there are episodes where it just gets really dark, like someone gets kidnapped, someone gets lost in the snow and nearly freezes to death. Someone is taken hostage. There's just a lot. It's a lot of crap going on. And someone almost got their house bought out, and someone went bankrupt and had to move. So there is some heavier things going on, but it's not so much where it starts becoming some other show. It's just like, oh gosh, you didn't see this coming. Oh gosh, what's gonna happen next? Oh gosh, what's happening? So it manages to balance things out, because there was even a point we thought they took out one of the characters.
And yes, I was sitting on the couch crying. You know me, guys.
Right.
And I was just thinking, like, how are they gonna tears?
Because we were thinking, because this actually came on weekly, but we didn't watch it until much later when it was already finished and all the episodes were available to watch at any point. So when we saw it, we were thinking, okay, well, how's the show's gonna continue if they take him out? And they played it pretty serious for a while. We thought, like, well, is this going on with the other characters or what? Because this is something really strange to do. And then you were like, psych!
Now, I want to give a shout out to the actual cast. It was diverse. You had, even though it was a Chinese remake, you did have one Taiwanese actor who was the lead, and there was another one, I'm sorry, I can't remember. But the standout, I'm sorry, is Dylan Wang, who plays Dao Ming Si. This guy has a huge career ahead of him for a long time. The dichotomy he showed with
Sancai?
Dao Ming Si. With the dichotomy they showed, where when he first started off, he was really just kind of antisocial. Even though he had friends, he could be withdrawn in terms of he would get angry, had anger issues. Everything had to go his way, and his friends were just used to him. And I love that they have been friends for so long, and they were loyal. And no matter what happens, their friendship stuck. I love that about it. And then he meets Sancai, and then out of all the girls that are in the school, all the girls he likes one who's not wealthy, and one who her parents are struggling to keep their home, the dad to keep the job, and so forth. And it's a whole different viewing from watching something that's an American series or even a Japanese or a Korean drama. Because in this version, they talk to each other and they say things that now in America aren't acceptable, but you understand in the show that it makes the show girl. He calls her ugly all the time. He tells her she looks like a cow and stupid. And she tells him he's stupid and pineapple head and all of these things. But when you're watching it, it's hilarious. And you see the growth of all the characters, but especially Dao Ming Si, because he had the most growing to do. And you see how he ends up, he's like a schoolboy who he likes a girl, but he's so immature he doesn't know how to tell her. So he picks on her, and he teases her, and he pulls her hair and all this stuff you would do as kids, and his friends pointed out to him. You love seeing the development and growth of the relationship. It's not, hey, they fall in love, they get along great. Because of their different social standings, there's a lot of things they have to overcome. But what I really do love, again, is his friends accept her based on her character and her personality and his love for her. They know he's in love with her long before he does. And I love how they have all these different scenes that show it, and it's not where it's just direct, I love you, or people jumping into bed in here, because it doesn't happen.
Yeah, they kind of like infer something happens and they show you nothing happened. They just fell asleep, or no, we're not doing that. So they really make it clear about the time. And it was funny is that when they have it in the beginning, when he's still acting crazy and stuff, and when he starts reverting back to a certain points in the show, they have these little character themes for everybody in the certain music cues and genres and things going on. And every time he started doing something, I guess he's supposed to be the bad boy, and I was like, please stop. And it's all you can hear is a woman singing in English, like a river, like a river. I'm like a river, what? So every time someone's supposed to be bad, I play like a river, because apparently that's supposed to be the tough music. It's like, this is just bad music?
Oh my gosh. Also, like throughout here, you get introduced to Dao Ming Si's family and Sancai's family, and you end up meeting his mom and his sister. You find out his backstory, you find out the backstories of his friends. And I like how all of this just interwoven. It's not a whole episode is dedicated, but it's interwoven where you get answers to questions you have as it goes along, and it's brilliantly done because every question you have ends up being answered.
Pretty much.
And you also are kind of surprised at the calmness the majority of the time that this series takes. It's not one where you are on edge, except for those couple episodes when you thought someone was gone. It's pretty calm in terms of you're just sitting back and it's laid back and you're watching, and it's definitely a slice of life.
Yeah.
Series, definitely.
Yeah, tell those parts.
Definitely. So if you have never watched
Meteor Garden, right?
I was going to say something else. If you've never watched a Chinese adaptation of a Japanese manga, which like we haven't, this would be a great place to start. And if you've never watched Meteor Garden, you should check it out on Netflix. It is there since it's the Netflix original. Then hopefully they won't ever take it out. Again, it's 52 episodes, so you could do once a week and take an entire year like it originally aired, or you can do like us where we watch several episodes a week. And seriously, once you start watching an episode, you're going to want to go to the next one and the next one and the next one. But if you are limited in time, make sure you don't watch it during that time because you're not going to want to stop watching it.
Right.
It's just that good.
Right.
The cast is fantastic, and actually you get to see a lot of the area that looked like where the story takes place in China, and then Dao Ming Si also ends up going to Europe for one part of it.
Right.
And it's not pretending it's Europe like America.
They actually went there.
And telling you, hey, this is London, but you can tell it's California. No, they actually, he went to London. And when they go somewhere else, you see that they're actually in these places and travel to these places, which is really great. So, if you've never seen Meteor Garden, let us know what you think in the comments below after you watch it. If you have seen Meteor Garden, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you've seen, again, Boys Over Flowers, let us know what you think. If you've read the actual manga, please tell us what you think in the comments below. Was this true to it? Was a lot added? And do you think we should take the time to read the manga as well?
Right. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and more than Paws videos.
And take a look on Wikipedia and learn more about the actors in this series, other jobs that they've done. A couple of them are superstars in Asia. Learn more about them because it will help you appreciate their performances more in this series.
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Oscar Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace like a river.